The Laredo Convention and Visitors Bureau Advisory Committee meeting. Today is Thursday, November 2nd at approximately 8:36 this morning. So we begin with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now we have a moment of silence.
Thank you.
Move on to take the roll call. Raymond Camina. Gabriel Castillo.
Here.
Judith Gutierrez. Blasita Lopez.
Present.
Omar Minja.
Here.
Jorge Luis Quijano.
Present.
Marisa Ramirez, present. And Magali Rodriguez. We did have, from our October 5th meeting, we had several of our committee members asking for an excused absence. Ms. Blasita Lopez requested an excuse on October 3rd via email, unable to attend. Mr. Raymond Camina, he had a doctor's appointment. Mr. Gabriel Castillo had a 7:30 a.m. commitment, and Mr. Minja had business travel. And we also have two of our members who are asking for an excused absence for today's meeting, which is Raymond Camina, he is out of town, and Ms. Judith Gutierrez, she has an 8:15 doctor's appointment.
So moved, Madam Chair.
We have a second.
Second.
Motion carries to excuse our members from the October 5th and the November 2nd meeting. Do we have any public or citizen comments to bring to our meeting today?
Not this time, honestly. At least they haven't given us any. I don't know that some of the committee members haven't.
Okay. And now moving on to the approval of the minutes from our September 7th meeting, which is on page 3.
I reckon I was not present for this meeting, but if everyone else approves, I move that we approve the minutes as,
Second.
Okay. Motion carries for the approval of the minutes from the September 7th meeting. And moving on to the year-to-date financial statements, which is on page 6.
Sure. Our financial statements are page 6, 7, and 8. And so we started just the new fiscal year on October 1st. So we are basically, we had very little that had rolled over. So we're now starting our new fiscal year. We're now expending the new stuff that we projected to be expending for this new fiscal year, like our advertising, our marketing, our media buys, all the contracts that we have annually that we continue doing. So you'll see everything on page 6. Our collections are page 7, where it's breaking down from personal administration all the way to marketing, and you see that how we did on our collections and the rollovers, and then obviously we on page 8, this is what we are projected. So you won't see October's amounts until next month because they're a month behind.
Mm-hmm.
So we're like for October we're projecting $391,315. So we that's going to be our projection for that for next fiscal year, for this new fiscal year. Sorry. So but like I said, right now we are basically getting purchase orders, requisition, everything that we are anticipating to do this year. So I'm really excited for a new year that we have, and And that's basically what I wanted to just mention there in the financial statements. I don't know if y'all have any other questions regarding our financials?
Do we have any questions?
Do we have to approve this financial? Do we
No.
have to approve?
No.
Okay.
This was approved by city council in August, so basically, it was already,
The new budget?
the new budget, yes, the new budget was approved in August, so, we, now we start, expending the monies.
There really wasn't too much change from the last year to this year, right?
No, it wasn't, yeah. Yeah, we did, or what we're doing differently is, one, our agency, we're gonna go with a new agency, so that's, with that, it's gonna help us, we're gonna do a cost savings, so we'll be able to do more things, like photo shoots, videos, so we're gonna be able to do that on the US side. And what we're doing with both the US and Mexico is we're really strategizing to make sure that we're in the right location, so every ad buy that we're doing, make sure if it's a billboard, if it's print, through magazine, or if it's digital, because now the most popular one is digital, is we wanna make sure that we're in the right publications, the right billboards, the right, digital websites and all that good stuff. So we're really looking, our marketing team is really doing a good job of looking with both agencies, and now with the new agency that we're gonna hire, because we're in the process of doing that, we're gonna be looking into that. So hopefully we'll be shifting some of our monies in our advertising lines to make sure that we're targeting the persons, the right target audience that we need, that will
The
bring.
right market?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's great.
But most of it, everything pretty much stays the same, yeah.
Okay, well, if we don't have any other questions or comments, we can move on to the October activity report,
Yes.
I believe. Which is
Yes.
on page 10,
Yes.
it begins on page 10.
Yeah, so our activity reports, it's from page 10, Madam Chair, to page 14. And before once I talk some other things here, but I wanted to introduce, we have our new sales coordinator, Fidel Hale.
Great.
He just started, now he's on his third week. And as soon as he started, his first trip was going to Connect, Texas. And so we put him basically to work right on the spot. So he came with me to Connect, Texas, so you'll see that, I believe it's in page 11. But I wanted to introduce, we're really excited that now we have him on board. He has a lot of experience on retail sales, so he's manager for several businesses. So obviously he has that retail experience in selling, and so he's very knowledgeable. He's as well involved in basketball with different leagues, and he's coached at San Agustin, so he's very familiar with the sport. So he's going to be helping us. Right now it's a sports and meetings. We're just to let you guys know that we're in the process of hiring a second sales staff. So the position just got posted. So if you have anybody that knows that has any sales, and it doesn't have to be in tourism, it could be any related fields in sales, but any experience in sales. But that person will, hopefully we could hire that person by the end of this year. And we're hiring as well a media marketing coordinator as well. So we have two positions that we're filling, hopefully we fill by the end of this year. So we're really excited that our team is finally growing, and we're gonna have now the staff that's gonna be 100% dedicated. So with Fidel, we're really excited that his knowledge and everything that he has, and he's gonna start now traveling, and so we're doing another show together in Destination Southwest, which is the end of this month of November and the first week of December. It's in Sao Paulo, so we're gonna be there going, and so he's gonna get another opportunity to be with meeting planners and get that exposure and that experience of, it's what I told him, it's speed dating, but it's 7 minutes that you have, 6 minutes that you have. So we were both running like crazy, and our conference was there at the Woodlands. So they had to, their main ballroom, and they had another meeting room, so we had to run in between rooms, so that was kind of crazy. And then it's not just us, but it's everybody's running, so you have all basically all the different cities of Texas were there.
A very frantic feel to that.
Yeah, it was crazy, and then by the time you sit down, and introduce yourself, it's 1 or 2 minutes there, so, some of them some of the appointments were like, they go straight, this is what we want, this is what we need, and some of them were like, okay, what is it that you're offering me? So it's very mixed, and that's what I was telling him, like, every planner is different, in a sense that, and then I think we got one that was like, you know what, we're too big for you automatically, because they look we have to create a profile sheet.
So it was a 30-second meeting.
Yeah, that's one, but you know what was kind of nice about her was that she, what was nice about her, in that appointment was that some of them will cut you off and say, okay, you know what, we don't work, and that's it. So it's like, okay, thank you, bye, but this one was like, okay, what is it that you offer? It might be that if I have other clients, because she works for a third-party agency, so she's not really the planner, it's like the Helms Briscoe and, so those type of meetings, so that they work with different organizations. So at the end, she's like, you know what, send me your information, if something comes up in the future, we'll already have your information. So that was really nice. I said, you're gonna get those people that are gonna tell you off straight to bat, we don't want you. It's rare, because most of them, obviously, we pay to go in there, and they're supposed to respect the 7 minutes that you have, or 8 minutes, depending on the conference. But, but most of the part, it was a really, overall, the people that we work with and with other CBBs, they were able to say, it was a really well attended event and very well presented. And they're really, because years past, they say Texas, but the conferences they were looking other states. So but this ones were focusing in Texas. So now Fidel is gonna be following up with those planners, and hopefully everybody was looking for 25 and to 27. There's a few that were looking for 2024. But what we're noticing now, and it was talking to other peers with other CBPs, is that now they're doing like last minute, like the organization may say, hey, we want to have a regional conference or board meeting or whatever, like last minute. And so now, because one of the things that people were saying, we had a Q&A with a panel with some of the private sector, with meeting planners and then CBBs, and one of the things that they're mentioning is that now their clients are sometimes they ask like last minute meetings. So now they want the whole city to submit bids and help them with everything, and for some of them they're already booked, because some of them plan a year or 2 years in advance. So those are issues that both CBBs are facing, and as well as meeting planners that are organizing conferences, because their board might decide they want to have a meeting within 6 months, 8 months, and sometimes the planning, if it's depending on the size of the group, it may take a lot of planning. And like Graviel and Blasito were mentioning before we started the meeting, it's the AV equipment. Some of them are still doing hybrid meetings. So it's all that AV equipment that you need, and making sure that what we notice a lot is that now conferences, they have 200 people, but they need 8 to 10 meeting rooms, breakout rooms. And it's like, oh my God, well, why do you need so many? But because they have so many trainings that they do it, breaking them into 20 to 30 people, it's a little bit harder now to be able to host conferences, because they might need more meeting space. And obviously, for their journal session might be 200 to 50, but for their breakouts, for their breakouts, they need 20 to 30 people, so you need, anywhere from 5 to 12. One of them was like, oh, I was like, man, that's a lot you're not gonna find even a convention center that has a lot of rooms. Most likely, they're gonna tell you, hey, we're not gonna, not unless you're willing to pay a lot of money to have so many breakouts, because they're losing money as well. So those were the issues that we were looking. It was another good thing to be able to communicate with other CBPs, how they're doing, what challenges that they're facing. So it was a good experience, So overall, that event went really good, but it was getting, very familiar with all the trends and changes that are happening right now with our markets in the U.S. side. And but I wanted to, like I said, I know Magali just walked in, but we want to introduce Fidel Hale. He's a new sales coordinator, and so we got him into our first World Olympics meeting. We went already to the UISD, to SAC, the Student Activity Center, to meet with Louis there at the aquatics. So, he's already getting familiar with everything, so we're really excited for him. And the other things that we had, the first one was the Food and Travel magazine. They were here, Reina and Beatriz and Fidel helped us too, so we really want to train him in everything because like I told Fidel, in here we all wear different hats. So yes, you're focused on sales, but you're going to be moved into certain things, and so good thing he's very open and willing to learn. And so it was M3. I was out, and Eileen was out doing this because they were here 3 days, Reina?
No.
2 days?
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and the return.
Yeah, so they were here several days, but it was a really,
It's a long time.
yeah, it was really good, based on, what Reina mentioned and Beatriz and Fidel. The restaurants that we went, they went above and beyond. They really, it was really good, the exposure that we got. They really wanted to promote their restaurant and their business, so overall it went really good. I think it was abundance of food that they prepared. So, yeah, I tasted everything, and then and the page number
It's
10?
the very-
Yeah, the food and travel,
Very
yeah,
first food and travel
Yeah, food
magazine.
and travel. yeah.
Mexico.
Yeah, so it was, they went above and beyond with the food, and then obviously now, some chefs are doing where the type of food that you do is what kind of drink it goes with. Yeah, coordinated with, so it was, and then they had to taste everything, and because the person that comes in has to write an article about her experience, or his experience, and so it was really good, it was really well done. And I know for them it was long days, from Wednesday to Saturday, but seeing the aftermath, what the results of everything that comes out in the publication, and that's really
Very positive.
very positive, yeah.
So this publication is in Mexico.
Mexico, yes, and that's gonna be issued on
This is
December.
by subscribers only, and also they are available in the airports, the lounge of the airlines, and some of the hotels in Mexico, all in Mexico, that's Cancun, Laredo, but that's more the subscribers. Also, we have the digital part of the
Yeah.
magazine.
Yeah, so the other thing that we wanted to highlight, we have several things, Madam Chair, but we're working with Laredo Crime Stoppers. They're trying to bring a training. We're trying to see if we could bid for their annual convention for 2027. So we're working with them, and obviously they're renewable. We are helping them with them as well. And then we are getting ready. Casa Laredo has been promoting the coupon book, and with the promotion that they're doing at the outlets and shopping, especially now that that's going to be Black Friday soon. Another thing that we're doing on page 13, we're going to be hosting a holiday market in 17, 18, and 19 of this month. We have 80 exhibitors for this year, and it's going to be the same rooms that we used at the outlet shops, which is the one next to H&M, and the other one, I believe it's where Converse used to be. That's going to be downstairs on the other side of the outlets, but we're really excited for that. We are in the process of creating a new map as well. One of the things that we're doing that we're really excited is we're going to open our Visit Laredo gift shop at the airport. So for those that if you guys have taken any flights earlier, within this, yeah, right now they're putting everything, but it's next to Via Laredo. So it's going to be open for all the departure flights. So let's say if the flight is at 1, they open between 12, because I think it's like an hour, 2 hours, all the way until they depart.
Is it already upstairs?
It's gonna be upstairs, yeah.
And this is a what? A gift shop?
A gift shop. So we're gonna replicate what we have here in our store here, with caps, t-shirts, mugs, shot glasses.
The products.
Yeah, the products, we're actually gonna be even ordering new products specifically for the gift shop at the airport.
Will you be putting up any type of LCD screen or anything on there?
As of right now, we are gonna do different things, so we are, right now, we're just displaying all the racks on how we're gonna hang everything on, display everything.
Because I've always thought about that, because, you know, I know HRB had come to us about selling us that screen on the side.
Yeah,
And I think that, I mean, really, that's probably the main place we want to put something out that promotes everything that we do in Laredo. And if this is your space, then it would behoove you from a marketing standpoint to put up all the information and loop it with all the things that are happening in Laredo.
Yeah.
Because it is CBD, right?
That
It's
is
a
correct.
CBD space.
Yeah.
Well, that would be the, I mean, to me, that's a no-brainer. That there should be a screen of some sort to promote everything that you're doing. I mean, it's another, I think we just bought a screen for $500. It was like a
Yeah.
60-inch screen. I mean, we spend all this money on all this other stuff,
yeah,
and that we shouldn't, I mean, that would be something that would be so important to put out, that people know what's going on downtown. That's the staple stuff, you know, it doesn't have to be changed too often, but just with the main things that are already there, that are already happening. You know, we already know where the museums are, we already know where the parks are, we already know, so that people will know this does exist.
yeah,
You know, so I think that would be very important.
And point them to the website for the mural tour, for the coffee tour, for all the things like you said that are
Yeah.
static,
Mhm.
that stay
And
every
what we've done is that we purchased the
Good idea.
movable carts. And so therefore, let's say, if it's got a window, I would say,
display
leave it
it.
mobile and just turn it around to the window. If it's closed, then put it out there. And I think it should just be facing the other way all the time.
Yeah,
But I was wondering about that, why we didn't do more advertising for the city on those screens, because, I mean, really now, it's at the bus station, the airports are the ones, I know we do publicize the bank and all the airports, other places. But here, we're kind of, Laredo's kind of, we're already known, but in other markets, we're not, so that's why we push that the most. But I think that's important.
yeah.
Very important,
Yeah.
Definitely.
See, right now, we're putting everything, and we already have, at least to start to start the promo that we're gonna be selling, we already have it aside, so we have to deliver it once they finish with construction, because airport is helping us with all their maintenance staff is helping us put our racks and everything, displaying everything, so as soon as we have that, and then we're gonna start adding stuff, because we're gonna put our logo, but we're gonna try to do a little, probably a soft opening by next month, or probably by the end of the, depending on the airport's calendar as well, because it's a partnership with the airport as well. And so we're really excited, this is gonna be another tool to promote our city. Not only that, but, you know, our gift shop, you know, where people, sometimes they can't come to downtown for whatever reason.
Get it over there.
We have the online where you can shop online, but now you're gonna be able to shop at the airport. And any airport that you travel, there's always a gift shop, so. We ordered new equipment, so we're in the process of getting that hopefully by next week. We had to transition from PayPal, now we're going to Square, because PayPal went through a transition that they're no longer working with government municipalities. They're only doing either nonprofits or regular retail corporations, but since we're part of the city of municipality, so we had to change now we had to work with finance and IT, so now we got it approved, so we're working with Square. It's gonna be the same thing, but now it lends us with the cool thing with Square is that we'll be able to have one umbrella, a gift shop, but we're gonna have two different stores, so we'll be able to track what we sell here in our office and at the airport, so we'll be able to run reports, okay, the cabs are really selling over here at the airport, but they're not selling here, so it's gonna help us with your POS
Manage the
system.
inventory.
Yeah, manage the inventory and be able to run reports, yeah. And then eventually we wanna barcode everything, so Square has that capability where we could scan it and, you know, because we're gonna have pictures and be able to select. So it's a lot of cool things that we're doing now. So I think the experience of promoting it, we're really excited. But thank you, Gabriel, for that, because we're looking at what things to do, but thank you for bringing that idea. And so we do have,
This one looks very nice, I hope
Yeah.
it mimics this one, because
Yes.
this one's very nice.
yeah, we're doing the,
Professional, it looks very professional.
yeah.
How are you gonna start, like, what are you planning on hiring a full-time person?
No, so the partnership with the airport, the good thing is that they're gonna have their staff, because with the airport, as you all know, you have to get vetted and you have to go through this process through background checks. So I had to do that, even though I'm a city employee, to be able to access in and out of the airport, I had to go through a whole background check with TSA and everything, so I already have a badge, so technically I could consider an employee with the airport too. I have a lot of restrictions, I can go to a lot of places, but, so now I'm allowed to take 5 people with me. So Mundo or Carmen or whoever I'm gonna take to help set up, they go with me because I have a badge, I could go in through security with no issue. They have to, and I didn't know that, but every item that we have to take, it has to go through their system as well.
Okay.
So then, so I was like, what, really? But where is it? Yeah, but they have, because of their security, and it's, and we don't, it's, you have them and say, okay, it's a city department, you'll be able to do whatever, no. So there's a whole process that I had to take training, I had to do a video training, and an interview, so it's a whole process too, but, now with that, so I'm kind of like the liaison, so I'll be taking staff and setting up and everything. So because of those restrictions and part of the partnership that I need to work with Mr. Sanchez, which is the director for the airport, was having their staff. So we'll have some of their clerical staff that will help us, since we're only because technically people are not allowed upstairs unless you're departing. So it makes sense for us to open it up because we still, don't have volumes of flights and so many airlines. So we're gonna open it during those times, and so that there is gonna be his staff and some of the staff of the police department, the airport police, that will be helping us man. But it's only gonna be with credit card sales, so we don't have to have cash handlers. There's no money exchange. It's gonna be really easy, and the system is so easy that it's really to do transactions. So we're gonna provide everything for them, all the equipment, the bags, the tissues, everything that we do here, the stickers, everything, all the little cards that we put in, they're gonna have the same thing. So, but we're gonna train their staff. So that's what I'm saying. It's probably gonna be by the end of this month, maybe next month. By the time we do the training, they make sure that we do some sort of inventory system over there as well. So by the time we do all those things, we're gonna probably launch it probably by the end of either this month or next month.
The other thing I would recommend is that you're gonna put a screen. What we did, we went to, we've been to so many places. We went to Mexico, and I forget which one it was. Anyway, long story short, we went to it. So what we did was that we were trying to promote Laredo for transportation. These were all new transportation people that were looking for warehouses and businesses on the border.
Yeah.
So there were people from literally all over the world there because they're trying, not over the world, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
all over the United States because they were trying to get them to go to San Diego, they're trying to go to El Paso.
Yeah.
So what we did was that I tried, and let me tell you, it really was a challenge finding attractive things for Laredo that would really attract people on several levels, because I had to think, these are transportation people, they're business, they're gonna be probably bringing families to live here, that's one. Then 2, doing business here, so they probably want locations where to work here. And of course, the entertainment part. So what I did was that I picked the restaurants that I like, and I picked the museums, I picked the parks, and what I did was that I put a QR code by each one. So when they saw it, I would say, para mayor información, and they click here. And so they would click on the code to see more about it, and I would take them to the page where it talked about the restaurant, or it talked about the store, the mall. Once again, the mall, it was like, what? Half of the stores are closed.
Yeah.
So I tried to pick boutiques instead. So we had to do that kind of carefully, but I think that would probably be something that may be helpful too, if you're gonna pick out, or if you have, I don't know how you can do that from a CBP standpoint, if you can pick out, but maybe just the public stuff.
Yeah.
That's nonprofit or public entities, like, like the museums and the centers, the libraries and things like that people know there.
Places to go.
Yeah.
Places to visit.
Yeah. So I think this would be important. But, the biggest challenge, and I'm gonna share this right now, and I've shared this because I know I talked to Alyssa about, Councilwoman Cigarro about a lot of things. And after we had this meeting, I sent it to her and we discussed it, and she wants to talk about something else, but I talk about this too. Because I was at a conference here in Laredo recently, and they read my bio and it said, advisory board of CVB. And I was kind of surprised to have about 4 or 5 people come up to me afterwards, kind of saying the same complaint, that they can't believe we don't have a civic center, that we don't have a conference center here. I said, you all are so big, you all are really the largest in the network.
Yeah.
What's going on? I said, well, that's a good question.
It's a long story, do you have any
The long story short is we're not visionaries, we're not thinking, and that's the short end of it. We're just not moving on it, we're piecemealing it with little cositas, that get us places, but we're not bringing big names. And I know, Omar, I know from the Killam standpoint, the development is also very important, and that's all encompassing. I mean, that's why we want to bring people in to see the big picture, and we do. I mean, I know some of you are moving your businesses, not moving, but expanding them to the valley because things are happening there. That's just the bottom line.
It's just taking the downtown area as an example. It's very, very, yes, there's some stores and everything, but it's very, very sad to see.
That's not enough.
Everything that surrounds the church, the hotel, the downtown, all the way to the outlet shops. I mean, it's depressing.
Yes.
It is just not
and
like
let me tell you,
let's take a walk.
And let me tell you, we share the same, and this is not just a pick on Laredo, because, when you say downtown, we had a very downright conversation with the Alamo is doing the restoration, by the way, in San Antonio. We paid a significant sum for part of to restore part of it. But, it wasn't without saying our piece, and our piece was that downtown San Antonio also has the same issues.
Really?
They're suffering.
Oh, yeah.
And
Every downtown, I think.
and they're having problems with law enforcement, they're having problems with,
Homeless.
vandalism and things happening. So, but the thing is that like I said, we need to focus it as a group, and I think that's part of the issue, is that once again, I keep saying this here, and I'm preaching to the choir here, but we work in silos. And, then we go back to our office and do what we can in our jobs, but we really need to put in writing what we see. And as a CDB, I think that we need to put this in writing to our city council and say, we discussed this at meetings, and we need to put in writing that we support a conference center at some point, and we support more focus on downtown revitalization, serious revitalization, not just, I think we're gonna do this, and maybe we're gonna do that, and we just went to a conference. I don't want you to go to a conference, I want you to act now. And this is something that's just, so frustrating, because we see it dwindling, and we see our city just literally, falling apart. Drive back home and you'll see from that here.
I think the key here is to find out what the root cause is, because the communication, I believe, is there.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even the communication, you can see it. It's not something that you're not gonna see, we see it.
And I
Whether
think
you
people-
visit downtown or whether you visit
And you're
different
right.
parts of the city.
And you're right, because people have gone together, and I have been asked to be a part of these little charrettes and things that have happened, at the center. But, they have to act on them to the next level. And I think that's where I said this to the chamber. I said, we traveled to Washington, we traveled to Austin. We need to travel just down the street to City Hall and sit down and sit like this, face to face, not just, we need to sit down face to face with every city, and they all care. That's the sad part, is that when you talk to each one, they're all concerned, but we haven't sat down. It's like a classroom. We all say we want to get, another degree, but if we don't sit down and go to the register for it, we're not going to get the master's or whatever you want. That same thing happens here. We're not going to get a conference center if we don't sit down and talk to people.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You're right. I think we're all talking, but we're all talking.
Let's get to the root cause. What is it gonna
I think we've
take?
isolated ourselves, and when I say that, we were in the city of Mission, the state of city of Mission. Every single municipality in that surrounding area, the RGV was there. And not only that, San Antonio was present. And Laredo's closer than San Antonio. And it's embarrassing that we didn't want to be a part of it, apparently. I say I don't know who the root cause or who that person was.
Yeah.
But every
Someone
mayor
told me
was
the
there from the surrounding areas, including San Antonio, except for Laredo. It's like we isolate ourselves, and we can be a part of that. And I always tell the RGV partnership, we need to invite Laredo. When we go to conferences, we should be we're border town team.
Yeah,
Laredo's
we all have-
included in that border town region.
Yeah.
And so we're trying to get that together, but it's embarrassing that we can't have representation in the RGB partnership, which we are part of.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, I need to find out who to talk to here, or not here, but, in the city.
Well, I think that some of that comes from like, oh, we wanna be, or, the valley or the
Yeah.
competition. Because I've heard it here at our
Yeah.
meetings before,
Yeah.
but maybe we need to really look at it from a partnership, we really need to join hands.
Yeah, they have everyone in
To
their
be able to
partnership
do that,
there,
yeah.
it's pretty amazing, so, we have a conference in January, ICSC in Dallas, and again, RGB partnerships will be coming, and I need Laredo to be part of that too.
Mhm.
That's-
But it's.
And that would be with Miriam.
I think that's very important. I know when my boss asks for something, somebody invites him to something, it looks like, well, this doesn't sound, what is it? So I research it, and then I find out what it's about, and I tell them, you should be there.
Yeah.
Because this is what it is.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, maybe someone at the city receives the invitation along with the other 30 to meetings, and they're like, it's in my calendar, they just,
Yeah.
right off the bat, right, it's in the valley, it's something,
Yeah.
but when you research it and you find out, and maybe that's, unfortunately, I'm gonna go back on you or just for a team, to say, you need to go to this,
Yeah.
because this is something important, and, because a lot of times they just don't, take it seriously or take it as an actual event, and I know that, we attend a lot of stuff that, we send someone, at least an operative, to hear
To
it
go
and
scope
come
it out
back,
and see, yeah.
and come back and say, oh, this is important, they're doing this, they're doing that, there's a binational symposium going on in the valley, and here we are with the binational park, they're having it in the valley. What just happened? We blinked and all of a sudden, the symposium in the valley. What happened?
Yeah.
Mhm.
We were not, I don't know if we're asleep at the wheel, or if we just turned another direction, maybe, and we just forgot about it, but that's the type of stuff that happens where we drop the ball.
Yeah.
And that's the part that's so frustrating. I mean, and I hate to say it, but I don't want to be sitting here just to say aye and approve things. I really want to be here because I believe my city council person, yours and yours and yours, put us here for a reason, to speak up and say what we hear. What we hear as business people in our establishments and what we're doing. And it's not all good, and I hate to put flowers on it, it's the other those, but, it's just the reality that we have to move on things and we have to act on them. Because otherwise our town has so much potential. And we have the good people, and we have I believe in our council people. I like all of them, and they are interested. And when you talk to them, that's one thing I can say about this council right now is that if you pick up the phone, they'll answer it. If you send them a text, they'll answer it. They will.
It's true.
But the thing is, if we provide the forum, I think we can get more done. And, I think, Omar, you need to sit at that table because you are doing a lot of stuff in other areas, and I know we are too.
Yeah.
But they need to know what's going on in other areas too, because in the end, guess what? They're working as a team,
Makes a difference.
as a South
Yeah.
Texas team.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's the way we get funded.
Madam Chair, if I might suggest, based on everything that I'm hearing today, and I think maybe we have brought this up before, perhaps the CVB could have a joint meeting with Economic Development Advisory, or we could have a joint meeting with the Downtown TERS board, or even just a subcommittee of them. Maybe it's not convening the entire, all of us, but you could appoint a subcommittee to perhaps work across
But I
to
was gonna
build
suggest
the
how come
silos.
everyone, like, every committee in one room and each rep talks about what's going on within their committee instead of just like two committees, everyone, like a conference.
Because we could invite them to come in and do a presentation.
And we
If
could
that's,
have a focused meeting
yeah.
on downtown
Yeah.
and revitalization and, because the TERS
The church
has
is doing a
the
lot of stuff.
funding.
Yeah, that's the funding.
And I don't know, like what I guess I don't understand is how do they choose projects? How do they prioritize those projects? And then, there's just so many other initiatives. AEP was upgrading all of the lighting to LED, and I think that got done.
Mhm.
So lighting for security at night is, important. And so there's different things that I know that have occurred. So part of it is the ideas, how do we revitalize? Where are the previous plans that have been done? There's suggestions that came out of those plans. Did those plans find funding or not? So there's a lot of bits and pieces to
So-
put together,
So
so.
Blasita,
I
one,
know Magali had another
yes,
thought.
but you, if you wanna say, and then, so, because I've gone to not to all the tourist meetings, but I know right now their focus is on the wayfinding sign, so we're working with them. Actually, we allocated some of our funds, so we're gonna start
I
seeing.
saw the capital outlay that you have in the budget.
Yeah, so, we have allocated, some money, for wayfinding signs.
Good,
And,
that's important.
yeah, so that's one of their focus, they're working a lot on right in front of the La Posada and and the church, they're gonna restructure some of that area in the plaza. They're expanding more into adding more parking spaces, because one of the issues is, a lot of people say, oh, there's not enough parking. So, but I know that they're doing some murals as well. So at least the things that I've heard, that I've been in those meetings, it's the murals, the wayfinding, that that CBB is putting some money, and then they're adding extra money so they could expand more in the downtown area, because our funding, we had to explain to them, it has to be for museums, it has to be where tourists will go, and it has to feature all that. So that's one of the things.
CBD funds have an
Yeah.
access.
Well, I know that recently the Mellon Foundation was here. I don't know if you knew about that. They came in, they were looking at specifically downtown. And they went to several entities, including the Webb County Heritage Foundation, they went to the Laredo Center for the Arts. They met with the Plaza Theater renovation people, the architects, they talked to them as well. The project that resonated the most with them was the plaza. And they promoted it as a conference district potential. So they were going that route with it. And to me, that's very important, but what I was telling them was, I said, you need to tell potential investors, because there have been people interested in downtown. You need to tell them what the plans are, because then those people can speak up as well for you at city level and state level and federal level to bring in more monies. Laredo Main Street has done a good job of doing their work there as well, but it can be,
Elevated.
and so those are the things that are so important, that we work together. And Magali's now, on the executive board of the chamber, so we're nice. I'm gonna put some of that to you too, because I'm off as chairman, but I'm still on the board. But I think, with everyone coming together, working together and discussing it, and saying, these are the 3 top priorities. Because you know what happens when we go to Washington? You sit down with people, they've got 30 minutes to talk to you. What are your projects? What do you want me to approve?
Yeah.
We're like, well, we were thinking, maybe this, well, no, just tell me what you have and all. Yeah, and why you want it, and why you need it, how it's gonna do good. But see, that's the thing, and sometimes I don't think this is just on me, and that could be wrong, that we're not totally prepared when we get there. To give the whole, like, this is it, all I need for you is to say you approve it.
The
because
speech,
this is it.
7-minute speech.
That is something what I wanted to mention, that we have to reach out to those other cities in the state that have done a great work at revitalizing downtown districts or having their convention centers, conference centers, because they are funding all of these projects with state money. What are we doing to find, grants, what are we doing, because there's money out there. We don't have to, it doesn't have to be funded 100% by the city or the taxpayers or anything. There's money out there for some type of projects, but what are we doing as a city to try and go after that money? Are we actually even looking at possibilities that we have? And maybe we don't know the route, but we can reach out to those cities. I can give you a list of cities that have done a successful job at funding their whole projects of revitalizing their downtown. Pretty much is the most common one, but we can see, like, maybe we don't know the road, but maybe someone else already has
gone down that road.
So
Yeah, and
why
shared their
not,
best practices.
yes, why not doing it that way? We have great partners, within the state, but if not, we can go to Texas Hotel Association. They're very well familiar with how is that, being done, and
Well,
there's a way.
there is a master plan,
No.
am I wrong?
No.
But no, that's
There's
exactly There's a
Walkable.
comprehensive plan, and then a portion of that comprehensive plan has downtown.
Yeah.
in
Some-
it.
But
some ideas
when
for
was
that.
that plan revised, like, or?
Years ago.
Some
Few years ago, yeah.
2 years ago, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2, 3 years ago, like, that was
Okay.
before COVID, that because I know they met there at the library, that's where they had all their meetings, and
Right.
that's where they got everything. And I know that the city had, like, probably 2 years ago, and I don't know if it was during COVID or what, I think it was during COVID, because we did a Zoom meeting. They went out, engineering went out to see if we had interest from people to, that would be investors that would be willing to build a convention center. But I was part of the initial thing, and Eileen and I, we were both part of it, and after that, we didn't, I think at the end, it was, the city doesn't have land,
Jorge,
so.
when you were talking earlier about having the breakout rooms, you
Yeah.
said 5 to 12, it's a big difference between 5 and 12.
Mhm.
What is the most common one? What are we losing? What are the type of conferences that we get, asked to bid on, and what are we looking for? What would be the average, or? I know that it's hard, but if we don't go all the way up to 12, like, what are the possibilities if we have,
So,
a center that
so-
can have?
yeah, so we basically need about, more or less, the ideal to
Mhm.
host different size of conferences. We need about at least 35,000 square feet,
It's minimum.
minimum,
I think-
at least
I think,
35,000.
The city has land behind Howell's, the city should look into Hollywood Theater. which
Well, I
is-
think at one point, I think that they were
Yeah.
looking at
That's,
that.
that's the ideal spot to
That's
have a
the ideal
fish center.
spot.
If anything, you're the airport, you're all the hotels, it's an entertainment district, and no one wants to recognize it's an entertainment district, but it is. And that's where it needs to be, I mean, there's no doubt. You can have sports, it's more about, you have volleyball tournaments, you have soccer tournaments, you have, everything
Like the
can
airport,
happen there.
university.
Cheerleading, I'm part of cheerleading, that can happen, but there's nowhere to host it.
Yeah.
And, you're talking about a lot of dollars, and you have all your hotels there, you have all your food, restaurants, entertainment's right there.
I went
so
to Long
obvious.
Beach for a conference for
Yeah.
marketing for ASM Global, and they had their civic center with the arena connected. They had a theater, walkable, they had
That's
the
a
stadium.
configuration that's been
Yeah.
studied
Yeah.
in the
Yeah,
past.
it's
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah,
And they have land right behind house, the
Mhm.
city does.
Oh,
And
okay.
so, I think it's about, I wanna say 8 to 10 acres at least.
And I understand that the ideal situation is to have a hotel attached,
Mhm.
but if we don't have that, it's fine. We can find ways, there's other very successful
I agree
convention
100%,
centers
Yeah.
100%,
that
yes.
have, multiple conferences a year that are not attached. We
Yeah.
know that it's ideal, but it's not the only route.
Yeah.
We're
We have
not,
to- And you're right, we have to think outside the box, because it's been, and, Laredo, for better or for worse, it is growing, so we need to kind of work with that,
Yeah.
because it is growing, and now it's, talk about thinking outside the loop, we have to think outside the loop, because there's gonna be another loop coming.
Yeah.
That's the next deal, the infrastructure that we have to prepare for, there's another loop, so, back to what you're saying, north, south, west, really, build it and they will come, because somehow the border,
We'll get
the
used.
weather is also a good thing, our heat is actually something that people actually laud in other places, because it's like, it never rains there, that's great, we can have anything outdoors, indoor, because of our weather. So these are the things that we literally have to bank on to try and promote that, but I think that's the thing, once again, I go back to the think tank of putting all of these things that you all are talking about, and I think it with a directive from the CBD point, that we believe it's necessary that we sit down and have a one-day retreat on just,
So moved. Can we make that a formal motion? I know it's not on the agenda, but just a special item, maybe one meeting that's dedicated to.
With economic development and trying to get the TERS. Is
That
that's
would
what
be
you guys want?
ideal. I don't know if that's, Gabriel just said a retreat.
That's a start.
Which department of the city would be able to, it's like a stepping stone, because
Mhm.
like the LCBB wants to sell the city, but it can't because of all these limitations. So then you need to get, who's the department?
Economic development.
economic development.
Economic,
Yeah.
yeah, we were,
Development.
Miriam would know what it is.
I
Miriam would
would
know.
recommend Miriam, but also our engineer, because he's
Yeah.
the capital improvement project
Yeah.
director.
Okay.
So then like if we can get those specific, start with something.
yeah.
Do you all get the articles that I sent you?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, okay. 'Cause
I
that-
love the one downtown,
Yeah, 'cause-
because it is really what's going on.
and I got very good responses, that's what I mean. The widow college responded, we're in blah, 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 we know it's in, but we want it. Miriam responded, she said, I know what you're talking about, this is right, you're right, we've got some things going on. See, people have things going on,
Yeah.
but they're not talking to each other, that's the problem.
You know,
And
You know what
also going back to the chamber, we need to bring the private in the
Sector.
sector, because
Mhm.
this is not just a city
yeah.
job, you know, we have to.
It's not.
It's not.
It's a
And
whole
we
city,
don't
yeah,
have,
for everybody.
we can have the most pretty, cleanest and well-lighted lighted streets, but if people don't, invest and they don't believe in it, but again, we need to sell the idea that this is great and this is where it's growing.
We just gotta
But
start
if we don't
first.
believe it, we have already that mentality that it cannot happen, but we need to believe it so we can, so people can have that desire, but.
Yeah, I can tell you that in this conference, everybody's looking for a convention center.
Mhm.
If you don't have a convention center, it's hard, or, if it's a hotel with a convention center, so we get limited on what conferences we could host. Now, the cool thing about, or I guess a plus that we have if we do it here in downtown is there's the Center for the Arts, there's World Heritage Museum, other facilities that we could use. The Plaza Theater eventually, once it opens up, that we'll be able to use as
Yeah.
alternative meeting space. You know, we've even worked with the outlets
What
now,
about the space here at El Portal? What happened to that idea of making that a conference center?
which on the one upstairs?
Yes.
Our building? Oh, that's gonna become economic development. They're moving.
Oh,
And maybe.
but I thought CVB was retrofitting a space here.
Upstairs we were, so, but I don't know, if it was management or council, I don't know how that happened.
Miriam, she got a bigger office, she wanted a
So
bigger
she's
office.
she's moving upstairs,
Yeah.
and so she's gonna have like a kind of, a little bit of what, mile one is, that they have cubicles as well, so they're gonna.
Oh, I see.
And incubators, they're gonna have an incubator as well, so they're gonna, for small businesses that are looking, and they don't have the money to invest here in downtown, but they're gonna have that, so they're gonna have a conference room. They're gonna replicate similar to what we have here, and, because Laredo is the same size, about 9,000 square feet. So they're gonna replicate that, for upstairs, so they're gonna be, moving, well, the project there, we have a meeting tomorrow with the engineers, and hopefully within a year, they'll be here upstairs. There's a possibility they might come and be housed here, Blessington, temporarily, I don't know, because they don't fit no more at City Hall. But that's a possibility still, but,
I think that not having the ideal space,
mhm,
you feel like, oh, I need to have enough for this and that and that and that.
Yeah.
But when you have an ideal space,
you don't have to worry
you
about,
don't have to worry about anything.
yeah, that's correct.
Like, people will go, people
Yeah.
will drive,
Yeah.
they will drive to come to the museum, they will drive to come, but it's fine, we just have to find alternatives and how to do it. With transportation, I remember, one of the biggest conference centers in LA, right? Like, when you go, there's not one single hotel that can handle a very big
Yeah.
convention, there's many hotels, they have a great system where they have their buses, they make different stops, and it's not a big deal. It's really not a big deal. I know that it's something that you need to put in budget and everything, but if you don't have that investor that wants to come and put a hotel, which is understandable, because again, we're trying to, if somebody wants to put a hotel and invest 35,000, what are we gonna offer? What are we gonna say that we can guarantee how many conventions?
And the other problem,
It's
the
hard.
other issue that we have right now, our challenge is the fact that interest rates are gonna stay the way they are, if
Yes.
not a little bit higher for a while, probably till 2025. So who's gonna want to take out a loan right now at that rate? It's gonna be hard, unless you already have capital to work with and you work with it. So we have to keep all those factors in mind, but apparently in other places, people are willing to take a chance because there's a potential to make money, even at, 8% interest rate. There's a potential to make money, so that's why that factor is very important, and we need someone on the financial end, not me, because I'm not really, I just do marketing, I don't do the numbers. But someone else who can, offer that information as well, because you do want to know what the forecast is for, the economy and stock market.
Yeah, because right now, the city has, some money allocated based on the sale of the civic center. So there's funding, to a certain extent, but
It's not much,
but it's not much, yeah, it's trying to get,
if I remember
Yeah.
correctly.
but it's trying to get the,
Question,
Yes,
so, we wanna revitalize downtown by getting a convention center here. Do you think that's gonna work? No.
No,
Parking.
probably not the location.
No.
I'm just saying, we're saying from our end, it's a convention center. As a CVB, we need a convention
See
center.
that.
Now, where it
It's a
goes,
two-part conversation.
where it goes,
Convention center's one thing.
that's really on the investing side, the investor.
I don't know that it needs both of
There's
them.
other ways to revitalize downtown that does not involve a
Now,
convention center.
now, should there be meeting spaces? Yes, I think every place should have meeting spaces, because now people do congregate, and you do need spaces for that. That's one thing that we're realizing as a bank, and we offer, Falcon does a very good job. Just so you all know, they have a second one now, so
Yes.
you can call them if you need any room.
I had a chance to experience it, LULAC used that one, and it was one of the suites over behind San Telmo.
Right behind San Telmo.
Yeah.
They have a space there, and they're very nice. And Amanda and I are in the chamber together. She's super nice, and I always tell her, I said, you go and get up there and say that you're promoting. This is yours, it's your house. Promote it too, because I think it's good. I think everyone, a good corporate citizen should be recognized, and they are good corporate citizens. They do a lot. And so, there are, but see, we need a public space owned by the city that the city can offer to people. Whether it be downtown, whether it be, I think there should be several locations.
Yeah.
That can offer, maybe some are smaller, but listen, North, there's a whole thing with hotels surrounding it, and this is a big style. This is smaller, you want something quaint, this is a group for older people that just wanna enjoy the boutiques in downtown and the museums, then you offer a space. We do have to have variety. Because every city has a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
So we do need to plan like that. Think outside the box and think, you don't want to just offer one blouse, one color, one design. You want to offer several. So that's what you do the same with your, your offerings as a city. You offer different things for different people, different ages, different everything.
Yeah, for us, is we're in favor of the convention center now. It all comes in the
And
investor.
they were calling it a conference district,
Yeah.
which is just another name for convention center, but I guess without calling it that thing, because it's gonna be small, it's not gonna be a whole convention.
And some of that may hinge on the way that the funding mechanism
Exactly.
was designed for that. Because
Exactly.
if you have a referendum to increase your hotel occupancy tax for the purpose of paying for a convention center, and you expand that geographic zone, you can call it a conference district or something like that. And so it's a selling point, but it's also hinges on the funding
Oh, yeah,
mechanism.
totally.
And what the tax code allows you to do.
Yes.
Yeah, because right now, we would do that, we would be maxed out to what Dallas and Austin are doing, like you
Right.
said.
See, but from a business,
If that was a funding
If
mechanism
we-
that was
yeah.
looked at.
And then it has to go
It's
to the lowest.
failed before,
Yeah, it's failed.
so.
Yeah.
from a corporate standpoint, the Community Reinvestment Act says that we give to an area of low to moderate income and an area that is in need of economic development. So that would mean it, that's why we would rather give here than somewhere else as a corporate.
Like a corporate, yeah.
But there are others that would probably invest, that's a different type of thing.
Yeah.
We probably still invest somewhere else, but
Mhm.
as giving, to promote and to develop, we'd probably give in this area. And we do, to this day, we still give wherever we can here because of that. So you have both sides. Like I said, you have to play all sides.
Yeah.
You just have to learn how to do that, and I think Miriam is excellent at that. I think she can see the big picture, but we need to offer her some film to take that picture.
Yeah.
Madam Chair, would you guys want to bring that for next meeting, or
If
see
that,
if we
I
reach
mean,
out to them?
it's gonna
or-
hinge on staff being able to have time to put it together,
Yeah.
so.
Or do you guys want to push it more for the 2024 in
We're
January?
not having a December meeting or only.
No, we are.
We are.
We don't have a January.
January, yeah, it's
Okay.
a January because of the holiday, so we move it to February, so it would be,
The December meeting would be December 7th?
That is correct, yes. If we don't do it December, then it would be in February.
February.
And then it gives us time for us to talk to the engineering and to economic development, and they could probably, and then we could bring,
I think we just need to get it started, like,
Yeah.
even if we don't really accomplish something, but just having actually them
The
come.
conversation.
yeah.
To start the conversation, and then maybe they could give us a better direction as to which
Where-
one.
where-
we
where
need
we-
to-
yeah.
That's true, probably
Direct
include
ourselves.
Mary and probably
Yeah.
include the engineer, and
Yeah.
just sit down and say, we wanna have this type of deal, what do you all think, because we wanna talk about things like
Yeah.
this. And then they can kind of guide us too, we
Yeah.
don't think it's driven by the city, it has to, because it comes from here, but maybe it would take a different turn, and we just say, we want to bring more investors, we want to promote this.
Because we really don't wanna waste anybody's time, but
Exactly,
we
yeah, yeah.
really wanna start from the foundation and then try to grow from that, because
Mhm.
if we really have a lot of things that are having the impact for that,
Mhm.
we need to maybe just start at the foundation and
And
from there.
prioritize, you can prioritize and say, these are the
And
three
say,
top
okay.
ones that we're gonna focus on for 2024.
Right.
And take it from there. But I think we do need to hear from the business sector, and I think, Omar, you all are key to that
Yeah.
part, definitely.
Yeah. I mean, the good thing is, I mean, we're, I can say a very limited stuff, but, you know, we're about to announce 400,000 square feet of retail development, and that includes a town center, and the first town center in Laredo, so that's gonna be attractive. So we'll be adding more great stuff to the city, and so a very destination-oriented place that has, you know, a lake and a hotel and walkable trails, and it's gonna be the first of its kind. I think it's gonna be huge for Laredo when we announce that, and then, I mean, I can say it because I know it's in the works, but, you know, the whole loop area, like you talked about, there's gonna be a second loop, there's a lot of stuff that's gonna happen that, you know, and I was looking up right now, actually, like, I think Laredo is the largest city in the United States without a convention center,
Yeah.
to be honest, it really is. At one time, we were the largest city in the United States without a brewery.
Yeah.
That got accomplished.
We have more car washes here than we do.
Yeah, there's some great stuff that's happening, and I think we just, you know, I always think about downtown. I was in a conference in Vegas with Cliff and some other people from Laredo, and I just came up with the tagline of what downtown Laredo should be. It's tacos, tiendas, and tequila. I mean, those are the three things that we should be promoting downtown. The problem is, there's a lot of different ownerships in downtown, and they're from California, from New York, and so getting those
Absentee
entities to
owners.
comply is a big issue. A lot of those people are wanting to sell probably their share, they just don't realize they even have it in their portfolio. So this is small, you know, at one time it was their bread and butter for trade, but, yeah, so getting a hold of those people to participate, but I always think those 3 Ts, that's what downtown Laredo should be, to promote, you know, what is truly Mexican culture, and I just feel like we're losing so much time and effort, that's what it should be. Hopefully that'll change soon, and, I mean, there's just so much that's gonna happen, but, you know, Costco's coming here finally, there's good stories, you know, and I think.
That's officially true? Or?
It's pretty true. Yeah, but there's just a lot of good things,
Yeah.
you know.
That's awesome.
About, you know, another thing I talked about before is, and I think you brought up too, the airport is such a, I mean, I travel every 2 weeks, and I get off the plane, and first thing I see is, you know, industrial stuff. So it works. If you're walking off the plane, you see, you know, ads, and I think what everyone's still asking me, and I brought it up before, and we need to talk about it too, is where do I eat when I come here? And that's been the number one question people ask. And that should be, you know, when you have a store set up, there should be a flyer like the taco tour, whatever you want to call it. You know, it needs to be there. We have the coffee thing, but.
Yeah, I think we're in the second phase of the taco, yeah.
So that's what it's here, yeah, and I think that's where we can help promote the local businesses that are growing here, and so. Yeah, the airport's such a huge place to capture people.
I think going back to that,
The baggage claim, we see the.
seeing what Javier mentioned about the TV is we can leave it on all day.
Yeah, absolutely.
The guys, they don't have to touch it, but they'll see stuff and scan, you know, with QR codes
We
now.
don't get more people than you think, because people are talking. That's all they're doing when you're at the airport. You run into people and you talk.
Yeah.
You see all the stuff about Laredo, like, we should go here.
Yeah.
It's a good place to get packed.
Yeah, we'll sponsor it if you want.
Yeah.
We'll pay for it. But the thing is that I know what's gonna happen. right? And as I'm thinking, our media's gonna come back and say you can't advertise.
I know
There
I was
may
thinking about that.
be a
Clause.
concessionaire clause there.
There could be that probably if it's not a, like for us, we cannot advertise a business.
Right.
We can only advertise nonprofit
Yes.
or activities or
Yeah.
projects on our screens.
It could be.
It should be excluded because you are we're for the city.
You're a tenant in the.
Yeah, technically we're attending, yeah.
You can get away with that one with, we
Let's
don't
hope
do
Omar's
rest of the
interpretation of the
on this.
clause.
Yeah.
But it's just a directional sign, it says go this way,
Yeah.
it's not that way, that's all we say.
It should be an absolute exclusion
Yeah,
from a charge, whatever they have written.
yeah.
And what I understand that they're month to month, so I don't know if they can even enforce it, so it should.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll talk to our airport as well, because I know that they're the ones that have those agreements with HR,
Yeah.
well, HR's not HR,
Yeah.
and make sure, that we can do that, yeah.
Maybe
Like
worst comes to worst, you can put a TV, LCD screen, and you put your own program there.
Yeah, no, that's the idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the idea, to have it in our glass, because it's all glass,
Yeah, you
so we could put it where they don't touch it, they don't see everything,
QR codes,
Yeah,
for
QR
to
codes.
download the app
Yeah.
and all of
Yeah.
those, yeah.
Yeah, and we're gonna take like our coffee tour maps, we're gonna have all that there, so they could see it.
That's great.
And I know we're working on another one, Beatriz is working, and I think it was at tacos.
Yeah.
So we're doing different things, so, yeah, I think that's been very popular, and,
Add a T and put trabajos because we need employees.
right? Yeah. So, do you guys wanna,
There was no second.
go second, yeah, so you guys, what days will record?
Okay.
Well, what's the motion? Is
The motion is to have an item on a future agenda
Mhm.
that can address, two things, I guess. One would be a convention center, and two would be downtown revitalization. And, we'll take it one step at a time, we just wanna start the conversation.
Okay.
I don't wanna be too overly broad with that request, so.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Yeah. Well, then motion carries, ma'am.
Yay.
And when do you guys want to, Madam Chair, to bring this to?
At our next meeting, right?
Mhm.
The next meeting, I think the conversation was just Miriam and the engineer,
I believe
perhaps.
so.
I mean, unless anybody recommends anybody else.
I think that's, I
Yeah,
think we can start there.
We can extend the invitation if she's available, great,
Yes.
if not, you can be.
Yes.
And we understand time is of the essence, so I think it's very good that you all give us this, so we can kind of dispense with some of the reports probably for that.
Yeah, so that we could just focus for that, if that's what the committee wants, we
Yeah.
could just focus
Yeah.
on that.
The only thing I was gonna ask is that we have our meetings like today, and then we get the meeting information like right before our next meeting. Is there any way that we could get maybe the minutes or something before?
Earlier?
No.
Yeah,
Few
It
days
just
earlier?
helps us refresh to
Mhm.
make sure that, you
Yeah.
know, what we took, what we
Well,
did
yeah.
today
Mhm.
is, you know, it's
Yeah.
fresher when you just read it all up and you highlight. Is
Mhm.
that possible?
yeah, we could do that. I know that there's times that we take a little bit longer because we're either in travel, so we're getting, everybody's getting all those pieces. I know Monica's the one that gets,
That's one
Monica Drill and.
I collect
Yeah.
everything, but that's the thing, we have people at meetings on travel and
Yeah.
sometimes
that's
it
really,
gets to the day before and I'm
Okay,
emailing.
so you
Yeah.
wanna just do the minutes, it has to be the whole, meeting.
I'll
I was
ask,
asking about the meeting
Yeah.
let's see if
minutes,
I can do that.
yeah, I think the minutes are a lot easier because she,
just that I would
Yeah.
think, cause it's refresher
That's
as
very
well,
helpful,
we
yeah,
can.
because I usually read them the night before and I'm, kind of in a hurry, but you're right.
If it's possible.
yeah, I think the
I
minutes
should
it
be
should,
able to send that out as a draft.
yeah,
It's
Yeah,
nothing
we can
official,
send it.
it'll say draft.
it would say that,
To go ahead at 10 o'clock, I'm sorry.
Okay,
okay.
Okay.
Mr. Gabriel, thank you for
May I be
coming.
excused?
Thanks.
Yes. And we still do have a quorum, Madam Chair, for the
Yes.
record, even, yeah.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Have a
Thank
great
you,
weekend.
Lorraine.
Thank you all, appreciate it, we will be in touch.
Thank you,
Anything
Lorraine.
you all need, just give me a call.
Bye.
We will.
It's a venue, I don't have any more reading rooms.
So you guys wanna bring it up for the next meeting, or move it to February?
No, I think if we could invite the CIP project coordinator, Mr. Ramon Chavez,
Ramon Chavez, okay.
and then Miriam Castillo to the
Mhm.
next meeting, just so that we can present the idea, and then whatever
Mhm.
history maybe perhaps that exists in the city's files
Okay.
for both of those things, I guess if y'all could just do a little bit of research and put together a history of downtown revitalization. I mean, I can't even imagine, there's just probably so many things in the archives, but.
Yeah,
And I think the newest plans, right? Because everything like with time,
Yes.
maybe what was planned many years ago
Is
not-
no longer
is no longer
relevant.
Yes.
yeah, because I know Laredo Main Street is doing some stuff,
Yeah.
so there's already organizations doing things.
And
So-
can they be also
So-
invited to
yeah,
the discussion?
Could we add them to the list of?
Of course,
Do we
yeah.
start with
Whoever
just
we
the-
want to.
However you guys want, you know, obviously we'll reach out to them and hopefully they're available.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
I think it's easier for city staff,
Yeah, start with that probably.
but,
and
you know,
integrate
it's
it.
really,
Yeah.
and that's why I was asking, because, you know, we want to focus on those things and overall what are they doing or what do they see for downtown or in general for the whole city. So that's why it's what we have to convey to both directors and so they could bring something.
Or maybe think about it, if it's best, the first meeting is just city, we
Mhm.
can do that and then later on bring more.
More organizations.
Yeah, whatever the staff
Organizations.
recommendation is, y'all can kind of,
Yeah.
Yeah, once Eileen comes
Discuss
back,
it.
'cause she's on business travel, but I'll talk to her and then we'll, you know, we need to have her discussion to some of the committee members. We'll call you just to pick your brain and see what direction you guys want. And, you know, so we could have that.
I think that's right.
Kind of adding with the whole like the plans being outdated, like when we did the Pride Festival, I was told that they already had a plan, but they didn't, so we had to figure everything out there for its street. So yeah, kind of going with that, they do need hopefully they haven't updated, because I know that the streets downtown were supposed to be closed. They only closed it one day, and then the following week it was 66, the streets were open. So I don't know like exactly like what happens or what went wrong, or not what wrong, but like, I guess a follow-up and the consistency of that. I know that it was, I guess, a problem for Its Street and the bars downtown, but then they just never closed them again. After
Yeah, because there is a process, so they have to go through an application that you have to fill out.
there's a street closure.
There's a
first.
street closure, yeah, and it goes through parks, it goes through traffic.
Oh, no, but I think what they had passed in city council was that they were supposed to be closed Fridays, Saturdays, starting at 7 p.m. all the way to like 1, 2 in the morning. Kind of like the way Austin does it for 6th Street.
Oh,
Water
okay.
is too.
Yeah, and so
Yeah, I'm
it
not-
just happened once, and I don't know, the consistency wasn't there.
Yeah, I don't know, yeah, I wasn't aware that they were gonna be closing for that, but that would be, but we could relate it to.
And that's just an example.
Yeah.
It's like when people, like talk about like, oh, Laredo's not progressing moving forward, and I think it's just a miscommunication within the departments of the city.
Yeah,
Because I mean, doing the festival, I know the application process.
Yeah.
You get Parks and Rec involved, you
Yeah.
get, PD, you
PD,
get,
yeah.
risk
Risk
management,
management,
yeah.
yeah, it's so many factors, and then they have to go send letters to say, to the business to say, FYI, this street is gonna be closed. So, you know, other
Yeah.
routes, alternative routes, so it's a,
The idea is whoever wants to organize something like that event, or a business that decided to open downtown, what are we doing to support them? What are we doing, you know, as a city, right, to make it ideal for people to wanna host an event downtown or open a business downtown? And I think that is true, like, if we say, okay, we cannot do everything together, the city cannot do everything alone, right? But we can do a lot of things together, and we can listen to situations like that, or situations like the Thai restaurant, I heard they wanna close, or they might close, like they're in the last round to close, Café Radical close. You know, the few things that the people that have been bringing traffic to downtown are leaving, so what? And if you talk to them, they're gonna have a lot of things to say about how they didn't feel the support from the city, and those are the people that we need to listen to. And we say, and for example, I know the Thai place, it's all about parking. So what can we do? Like, is it really that important to collect those points? And for people, it's really important to find a parking space. So, yeah, we cannot make exceptions for some and not for others, but we need to think outside the box. You know what, let's do it at lunch hour, or this time around, let's not charge, or I don't know. You know, I'm not an expert on that, but
Yeah.
there's things that we can do.
And maybe I'll bring them to the Laredo Main Street if they come next week, because it's like, we pretty much set the layout for downtown, for 8th Street. I get a lot of compliments from the bars downtown where, wow, you did something that no one else has done. It looked like I was in Austin, having all the vendors there on 8th Street with the streets closed. But like, brought a beautiful, amazing stage that added more to it this year, this past Pride. So it's there, the layout's there, we pretty much laid the foundation, but no one's following that
And
foundation.
did you guys use it like as a fundraiser or something?
And it's supposed to be a fundraiser, but as all festivals are supposed to be fundraisers. But I guess this is kind of like the tricky part. We used it more to raise awareness and educate people of what Pride is. The ones that benefit the most were the bars downtown, the businesses, which is fine, because ultimately we kept them in mind for getting, I guess, the blame for COVID cases being on the rise and that they shut down. So, I mean, I'm friends with bartenders, the owners, so I'm like, you know what, why don't we just do it there, close the streets? And of course, it's June, it's really hot, so we needed a cooling area for everyone. And so a lot of these bars were operating as restaurants, so kids could go in there, people that were 18 and under, go eat, blah, blah, whatever. But yeah, I mean, it's just something that could be a quarterly event for like the businesses downtown.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, like, yeah.
And it can be like the following month can be a taco festival. It can be,
Exactly.
you know, different things, and that way you bring the traffic.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, because I don't know, like, if your organization that you're part of, or that would be mostly other organizations. Because like I tell you, the city, at least we can do it. I know you tell Parks has so many events,
Yeah.
because we can't promote locals, you know, or anything.
And I think for Laredo Main Street would be perfect, because I mean, they're used to doing the jacuzzi.
Yeah.
But I think one of the issues that we came across is that some of these business owners cannot work together. And they've told me, no, it's because we need someone like you to spearhead this, because you can get everyone in check, and then whatever you need will be there. But then it's like, I remember Jimmy was like, no, you have to do this. Now it's 4th of July, and I'm like, dude, I have a full-time job. Like, this is a volunteer basis, it's Pride Month, it's June, after that I'm done. But it's unfortunate, because it's like, we have everything there for you all. You all witnessed what we were able to do. But I guess it's something that maybe Laredo Main Street could kind of do those quarterly events. I know Cash tried doing the March one for St. Patrick's Day, but I mean, I already gave him my notes, maybe timing too.
I think that's the key, brother, it's the timing. It's if you, going back to what I was saying, the issue with the conferences is that they're trying to do it within 5-6 months. To plan a whole conference, it's really hard, you can't. It's very difficult, especially getting all those pieces and,
Right.
you know, with just the process, getting the.
Having people put it on their calendar.
Exactly, yeah, so I think that's one of the things
For
that,
attendees.
if you don't plan it well ahead of time and execute, and now you already have the experience, so for the next time, it's
Except for
for
2
you.
months.
Yeah. But now you already know, but for the person that is gonna launch it for the first time, if they don't have that, then
But
they're
you're an
gonna.
experienced event planner.
Exactly,
You've
yeah.
done events.
Yes, yeah. That's the other thing too.
And all over the place.
Yeah, and it's like what Red said about like, you know, having, kind of adding more to what he said, having a visual, having a proposal. So that's what I ended up doing for this first festival. Like, I sat down with Councilmember Alisa Cigarroa and her assistant Araceli at that time.
Oh, yeah.
And Araceli kept telling us like what we needed, but everything was already there. The map, the layout, the street closures, the time, what the plan was. And I think that's something that a lot of people don't, I guess, know, that they have an idea, but they don't put it on paper. And so it's like they're telling them, but it's like, I think it's easier just to, boom, here you go. This is what we need, this is what we want, and then from there, it's like I just said, they approve that.
Yeah.
But I think that's just something that a lot of people don't know.
People
how
need
to do.
guidance.
Yeah, exactly.
There's just no way that they're gonna know if they don't have that experience, or they have, you know,
Yeah.
definitely, if you have a list of things and you check them off, it makes it easier.
Yeah,
Madam Chair, I have to excuse myself, so that might.
yeah, my
We're pretty
favorite.
much, we're pretty
Yeah.
much done,
Great.
so.
To do that presentation.
December.
Can you
so just so she could, I know that we already pushed it 2 meetings, so we were trying to
It
do.
looks beautiful, by the way. It looks so colorful and
That's an activation that we did this past summer in Monterrey. That's the idea, that's the pop culture. Well, let's get.
She's like at the airport, something
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
a look like that. At the airport.
The idea is that the Laredo, Texas is popular. That's the idea. The activation, that's food parks. They have food parks. One in a space designed to evoke the childlike sense of wonder, featuring a life-size doll box. This first, that's the idea to have like a doll box or the selfie station, and the location of the activation was the Paseo La Fe, and that's a very primary location for us because they have a passport office, Mexican passport office there, and also movie theater. When we started the activation, we noticed that that's the Barbie movie starring Mexico. So we changed the color and make it pink, and we have like that Barbie box so that people can go and take the picture. So in Mexico we have the opportunity to do whatever we want. So and very fast they change, and that's the result. Also we have a video space that's with mirrors and with a video.
Is that the golf course in the background of that one?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. All that's the photos, and that's the part of the Laredo. That's with the another elements that we include. That's the pop. Also we have the pop music when the people. That's all the scenes are in there. We have the audio, visual. Also when we have some time, they have like candies, the U.S. candies, so the people can test. So that's all included in that. And also the people can register to win prizes. In this case, the outlet shops wants to participate, and they have some. I think that 500 gift cards for one of the winners. This is the part of the activation. That's the back part. Let's see. All the 360 view of the activation. This is the colors.
nice.
Love it. It's awesome.
And we have the winners. We have 2 already claimed their prizes. They have 1,000 and 500. That's it. We create a landing page so you can register, scan the code and register, and that's information. And to participate, you have to register. So we have the information of the people that can participate. Sometimes it's very hard because in Mexico you have a lot of spam, so that people can go and get the information. Especially that's no person there to guide us and say that this is true and this is what happened. So that's very hard. But they give us a great idea. That's and the activation starts for I think for 2 weeks. July 20 through August 8, 20 dates. We have the activation. This is the plaza where they was located. And this is the price, and this is the media value. That's it. That's a mathematical formula that gives the
It's a great return on your investment.
Yeah.
So,
Very nice.
and
Close to
this is the
everybody.
photos that people can to send us photos, so you can see all the beautiful photos. This is Samuel, wants to promote the Facebook Live, so another person that sent the photos. You can see. And
Cute.
Love it.
yeah, we have. That's a
Very
Yeah.
nice.
very good. We really like it. For this Christmas, we have next week we have the press conference, and that's the tree lighting, and this same plaza and the plaza Paseo La Fe.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, I guess before passing the links, which one do you wanna adjourn the meeting so we could have the forum and. I don't have anybody else, any announcements?
No,
I think-
just that our next meeting will be December the 7th,
Mhm.
and there's no announcements.
Don't forget to shop at Holiday Market.
Holiday market.
Yeah.
And do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved, Madam Chair.
Motion carries. Thank you.